Our friend Dave Sherpan has joined us this time of year for the last number of years from Radio Row, from his home confines in Vegas. He is the co-host of the Cash Considerations podcast, and we love visiting with Dave about
serious, $1 million cash right there, Dave?
Yeah, it was nothing, HR. It was just another day. It was 2011. I'll never forget it. I told the story 100 times. I wasn't expecting it because it was earlier than it is right now. It was about 6:30 in the morning, and the guy just showed up, wanted to play, pretending like he didn't even know what the spread was. He asked me a couple questions, and I thought, man, this guy probably hasn't been to bed yet, to be perfectly honest. It was, because in Vegas, Matty G would know, or Matty V would know, you do this, and people stay up all night and then show up and they want to do like a teaser or something, and they involve a basketball game and a football game and things like that. I'm just saying that stuff happens in Vegas all the time.
Yeah, there are dummies like me that do stuff like that all the time. Did that guy win that play, Dave?
He bet the Packers, and then 18 minutes later, we were -2.5, -110. He laid it for 1.1 to win 1. We didn't even move it to 3. Because by that time, we had so much money in there, we were afraid to go to 3. But a guy came in and took 2.5 on the Steelers, even money. We went to 2.5 -120. For those of you that are in the business, you realize that's not really much of a move.
To me.
Hey,
yeah, it's a foreign language.
Before we get into some of your props, where has most of the action been on this Super Bowl? Because the line has only moved by a half point. It's 1.5. The total hasn't moved at all, sitting pretty firm at 49. Has there been big money for anything?
It's crazy. I do the show called Bostonian versus the Book, and you've been on it, and we've talked to multiple bookmakers in town. We're focusing on a lot of stuff that's going on in Vegas. So far, it's been slow. It's been hard to get up to this point the action that you're used to. Every guy that I talk to, all my buddies that are doing it in books here, said they're behind as far as the amount of money placed up to this point. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it's, people wanted to see Buffalo. People are tired of seeing the Chiefs. The Eagles really are that good. I don't know what the reason is, but handle has been less. And it's the line, too, guys. Like, it's a pick-em game, essentially, with a 1-point line. And I don't know. I found a couple props that I think we can talk about.
Yeah, let's do it, because I know people are like the numbers on Kelsey yardage. It's gotten ridiculous. The numbers on Saquon yardage has gotten ridiculous. Let's start in on these, Dave. Longest field goal made, over under 48.5 yards. What do you like there?
Well, for a lot of the people watching the show, that number has moved in a lot of places to 47.5. I like it under, because I think both teams are going to look to go for it a little bit more. So I don't know if we're going to get a long field goal attempt, only unless they have to. So I don't think there's going to be one at 50 yards. I mean, the Eagles don't try them.
No, the Eagles go a lot on fourth down.
Yeah,
the kicking game's not been great.
Has a kicker.
It's true. If you think he's healthy.
Kick the distance.
First TD of the game, passing or any other. I would imagine on any other you get pretty good money, right?
So passing touchdowns -130, any others +110. HR, I'm just going to throw it right to you. Which one do you think is going to happen first? A passing touchdown or a rushing touchdown or any other?
I think a passing touchdown. If it's the Eagles, I think it'd be a rush. But I think the Chiefs are going to get the ball, go down the field, and they're going to pass and score.
Okay. What do you think, Matt?
I'd stay away from that one, because it just is like Harold said. I think it depends on who gets the ball first.
Because here's what happens. They've had 2 weeks to get ready. So every big game, the first offensive drive is what they've seen the weakness. Then the adjustments start coming in.
Correct.
So that's
and then there's a pick six, and it ruins all of our bingo cards.
Which is any other, and it's plus money. Exactly right. That's exactly why I like it. I think the rushing touchdown and the randomness of the Super Bowl, give me that one.
I know that you've talked about this one in the past, Dave. Shortest TD of the game, over under 1.5 yards. You like that little goal line tush-push TD.
Of course. And again, that's one of those ones where, like my Uncle Gumpy or my buddy Phil, or everybody talks about the tush push, and there's going to be a rushing touchdown, and Jalen's going to get one, and Saquon's going to get one. This price used to be great because people would come into the book for years and bet it over. because how can there be a 1-yard touchdown? Pass interference in the end zone is actually like a play in the playbook. So that can very well happen. And you guys have had fantasy teams and leagues where your wide receiver catches a pass, it goes out of bounds at the 1, and they give it to the quarterback or the running back, and he steals a touchdown. There's going to be an under 1.5-yard touchdown in the game. But, Matty V, it's minus 195 out here right now.
Oh, no
it's
thanks.
got very, very expensive. So if you want to do it, you got to lay it.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Dave, how come or maybe they do, what about the best commercial? Do they rank that, or who might be first? Will it be a nacho commercial? Will it be a car commercial? Do they do any of that stuff?
Thank goodness in Vegas, we don't really, there's gaming regulations that you have to follow. So there's none of that stuff. There's no Gatorade. There's no national anthem, although if you can find that national anthem bet, apparently it's an under and it can't lose. It's going to be faster than 120 or 121, whatever you can find. So no, we don't do it. We just had to slide that in case anybody's watching. It might want
Yeah. We like
I mean, that's what I've heard allegedly. I'm just saying that's.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I went to college with somebody who worked in an advertising capacity, and they worked on the campaign for the Bud Bowl. Remember the Bud Bowl?
The best ever. That was groundbreaking at the time.
Early 90s, she gave us the final score of the Bud Bowl. We were like, yeah, sure. Well, it was spot on. And back then, you could find action on the Bud Bowl. Dummy me. I could have been king of the castle at this point. Anyway, let's get you to some of the things that our guys cooked up, Dave.
Yeah, please.
The cross-sport props are a lot of fun, so our team here has cooked up some cross-sport stuff with baseball for us to run past you. I don't know that you can find this and book it anywhere, but here's some fun. Prop comparison. What's the bigger number, Dave Sheriffan? The Dodgers' regular season win total, and it's listed at 104.5, or Saquon Barkley rushing yards Sunday at 109.5. What say you?
I love that. I think over both. Do I have to pick one or the other? You guys do such a great job, and I love baseball, and I'll be watching all summer, when the season starts. But there's not a person walking this planet that thinks that Dodgers is going under. Yeah. I have never seen it started at 105.5. I've never seen that before. They got the best team. They got the best players. And now they added to the pitching staff.
Yeah.
I think that has to go over, fellas.
I'm with you. It's a doggone all-star team. It really is. And I think Saquon's in for a nice Sunday, but I like the Dodgers win total more than the Saquon over.
Too.
Wow.
I'm with you on that. Here's the next one. Bigger number. Aaron Judge homers this season, or Travis Kelce Super Bowl receiving yards. And you can see the numbers on the screen for folks' edification. Last year, of course, Judge hit 58. The year before, 37. The year prior to that, an American League record 62. Kelce's last 5 postseason games, his receiving totals have been 27, 30, 84, 117 yards, and then he had only 19 yards in the AFC Conference Championship.
I'm over with both.
What do you say, Dave?
Wow. I think Judge's home run total over. I kind of like Kelce's yardage under. So which one do I like more? Without Soto, is Judge going to do it? I mean, without the protection and everything? He probably will. So I'm going to defer to the baseball one.
Let me ask you this. So why do you see Kelce under 60? Because I see it more of a control. I got to go to my guy in the Super Bowl. Tell me what you're thinking.
I worked with a guy named Tony D, and when he used to give me something, he would put his glasses down at the end of his nose and look over. I'm going to do that to you right now. Can you see what I'm wearing? It's all Eagles stuff, HR. That's why I like Kelce's yardage under. I like the Kansas City stuff under. I mean, it's pretty clear. What's so funny? What?
Mike Trout's calling. He wants your number.
Character.
As a fellow Eagles guy, Eagles backer. Dave, we appreciate you, man.
Dave, that's awesome.
Look for Dave's podcast, Cash Considerations. We love having you on the program, bud. And good luck with everything on Sunday.
I see the glasses down. I'll know what's up.
That's exactly right. Buongiorno and all the paisanos. Great job. That this segment before was unbelievable.
A lot of fun, man. Dave Sherapan joining us from Vegas talking Super Bowl. We have to pause the baseball dialogue on Friday before the Super Bowl every day for Dave Sherapan. Back to baseball after a break.
Good.
There are new sets of projected win totals that are being released this time of year. We've talked a lot about the FanDuel numbers, which came out early, but the PECOTA rankings are also in now. So we thought we'd line them up in a couple of divisions to see if there's agreement or discrepancy on the projected win totals from teams from these two divisions. We're going to start in the NL East, where the Braves' PECOTA projection is 91.9. That's their second highest total to only the Dodgers among all 30 Major League teams. FanDuel says 93.5. The biggest discrepancy here, Harold, which I think is interesting, is with the Phillies, because PECOTA has them at 85.5.
Yeah.
FanDuel lists them at 91.5. Anything interesting to you here?
Well, the one thing to me, the Phillies have the less what-ifs. You know their pitching staff's healthy. Mm-hmm. They got two aces. And Ranger Suarez, the way he threw, gives you three really good, deep pitchers, but they're healthy. The Mets have question marks. I'm not sure if Senga comes back healthy, what he does. The Braves are all checkered with all kinds of questions as to health of the pitching staff. And will Acuna come back healthy? Oh, there's a lot of question marks. So I think the Phillies, for me, would be ranked higher.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because I can depend on that a little bit more.
Speaking of the Phillies, we got Bryson Stott, who's going to come on with us to talk Phillies and talk Eagles, actually, right after this segment. Let's go to another division here, the NL West. Look at these Dodgers numbers. If you want to lay minus 650 and tie up your cash for 7 months, be my guest.
Wow.
I do think that they're going to exceed their PECOTA and FanDuel numbers, but the biggest discrepancy here is at the very bottom of the pack with the Rockies. PECOTA says 54.4, and the FanDuel number is at 59.5. You know, go ahead and get the plus 50,000 for your $100 bet for the Rockies to win the division.
Wow. I do think they have the division lined up in order. I think the D-backs are ahead of the Padres. It's going to be really good. The Giants are ahead of the Rockies down there.
Agree. I agree. I think the Diamondbacks could exceed that number, too, at 87. I think they've made themselves a much better team than last year.
No doubt.
And San Diego, despite the relative inactivity, they're still probably better than a 500 team and a postseason contender for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another quick break because we mentioned Bryson Stott. He's ready to join us after a quick break.
ドジャースの2024年シーズンは、まさに夢のようなオールスターチームが誕生した瞬間から、ファンの期待を一身に背負い、圧倒的なパフォーマンスで駆け抜けてきました。大谷翔平、ムーキー、ベッツ、フレディ、フリーマン、これほどのスター選手が一堂に会し、チームとして戦う姿は、まさに野球ファンにとっての最高のエンターテイメントでした。シーズンを通して、ドジャースはまさに、勝つべくして勝つ、チームでした。オフェンスでは大谷翔平が豪快なホームランを放ち、ベッツが驚異的な守備とバットコントロールを披露し、フリーマンが頼れるバッティングでチームを支える。そして、ピッチング陣には新たに加わった強力な先発投手たちが圧巻の投球を見せ、ブルペンも安定感抜群。まさに、どこから見ても隙のない、超完成型のドジャース。そして何よりも印象的だったのは、選手たちが見せる団結力と情熱です。ただのスーパースターの寄せ集めではなく、お互いを信じ合い、支え合い、チームとして戦い抜く姿が本当に素晴らしかった。毎試合、ベンチでは笑顔があふれ、ビッグプレーのたびに選手たちが肩を組み、大歓声を上げる。その光景こそが、ドジャースが最強のチームである理由ではないでしょうか。特に NL 西地区優勝を決めた試合のあの瞬間、9回裏、最後のアウトを取った瞬間、選手もファンも一体となって歓喜の渦に包まれました。スタジアムの青い海が大きく波打ち、選手たちは抱き合い、涙を流しながら勝利の喜びを分かち合いました。まるで映画のワンシーンのような最高の瞬間でしたね。しかし、これはまだ終わりではありません。ここからはワールドシリーズ制覇というさらなる夢に向かって突き進むのみ、ドジャースがどんなドラマを見せてくれるのか、これからも目が離せません。皆さんも、この歴史的シーズンの証人となりませんか。これからもドジャースの戦いを一緒に応援していきましょう。動画を楽しんでいただけたら、ぜひ、いいね、と。 チャンネル登録をお願いします。コメントで皆さんの熱い応援メッセージもお待ちしています。さあ、次の試合もドジャースと共に